local strongman scene. It's now it seems that we're branched out to some other stuff. It seems like it's a lot for everybody.
Yeah,
that could be it.
If that's it, then that's it.
And
we're on to something.
We're all about inclusivity here.
We are.
Hold on, I'm just doing this.
This is now you're witnessing business,
Tyler.
Tyler.
Sending a question.
Yeah, the anonymous questions are all centered around Devin getting divorced.
To be alive if you can't do that.
Well, you steal the show 1 week. This is what happens.
Yeah,
this
I guess.
is fame, Devin.
This is what it is. Yeah.
Okay, I'm finished now. All right. Excited to be here in the new Whiskey Tango studio. In beautiful St. Vital, Manitoba, Winnipeg.
You can't see it, but we're actually in Beeks' basement, surrounded by all his skeletons.
I opted to not, kind of peek behind the curtain as to where exactly we were.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that's where we are. We're in Beeks' basement.
Yeah, if you guys want to know his mailing address too, I'm seeming to be really good at that.
My birthday, my SIN number, my gross income.
Whatever, man. It's spelt gross, is it not? Am I wrong?
Spelled gross.
I don't have no business degrees.
What do you? If something is disgusting, or what would you call it? Gross or gross?
Gross.
So, how spell it?
Well, I can't. I hardly made it through high school, guys. I don't think you guys understand. I graduated with a 51%.
I do understand, and I'm not
through high school.
And he was homeschooled.
Yeah.
I always imagine Devin being schooled in like a big 1-room barn kind of deal. You know what I mean? Like him and also the kids who are 10 years younger, and then the teacher's like 1 year older. And
Danielle was actually his teacher.
Can we?
She was my tutor. My parents hired.
Right before the podcast, you talked to Danielle on the phone, and she was obviously very bothered by the idea of being on the podcast. Can we call her at some point and just chat with her on the podcast?
we could, yeah.
Just, kind of blindside her a little bit.
What were her exact questions? What kind of food do you want this weekend?
Yeah, it was like, what do you want to eat? And then you got mad at her and hung up the phone or something for not knowing. Welcome
I just said yes.
Welcome to Whiskey Jesus.
Yeah.
Welcome to I've never been on that show. I've never
We've talked about having you on.
Yeah, I don't know, but I've never I have no connection to that. I don't know why I've said that.
Catching on to this. Why the fuck are you saying Whiskey Tango?
I said that twice now. I've said that before in the past too. Welcome to Strong and Petty,
Great
number
promo.
17. Yeah, sure. Welcome to Strong and Petty, number 17. We're here in the beautiful studio. We're here with my two best friends. We have more of an audience than normal. You can't see it, but we have Devin's lovely daughter watching, which I'm sure won't make for any awkward moments throughout this whole podcast.
Yeah, especially some of the questions we got.
We got some good questions to be asked.
Yeah.
We decided to let the leash off a little bit and do the anonymous ask anything.
I thought they'd be nastier.
Well, we got exactly what I thought we would get, which was just dog shit for most of it.
Did any of you two send questions?
No, I didn't.
I call bullshit.
I didn't.
Because I put on the page there were no nasty questions. Literally within 2 minutes, 3 nasty questions came in.
I noticed that too, but I swear
I didn't.
No, I thought for sure it was you two.
No.
I didn't see it until today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was dropping pictures at 6:30 this morning. I'm like, am I going to wake Tyler up with my notifications?
I turn my notifications.
I was going to say you're
off.
definitely a no notification guy.
No, I wanted those to be pure and to uphold the sanctity of them, so I didn't do any private or any secret questions.
Nice. We got I think over 20.
Yeah, thanks for everyone, and most of them are trash, but we'll a couple of them were interesting, and we will ask them.
I was in a meeting last night, and I looked at my phone. I had 43 notifications from WhatsApp, and all it was Strong and Petty and Whiskey Tango.
Yeah,
between the two groups. Yeah, it was a lot going on.
That makes sense.
Just pictures. I didn't even read all of the pictures you sent because it was just too much to keep up with.
I was just putting them in groups. They were coming in. I'm not even reading through them. I'm just putting them in the page. Go through them today on the air. So then they're actually the answers are literally off the cuff then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's better that way.
Yeah.
So we're creeping up on 8:45 here in the morning.
But thanks to the 3 people that sent nudes.
Yeah, thanks for that. We really appreciate it.
That's not what I meant by anonymous, but
Brian.
Yeah, but we can tell it was you, Travis.
Travis. Yeah, and then me. The third one actually was me.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I did send. It's early enough. Devin's taking his well-deserved vacation right now.
Yeah, I'm on holidays.
He's on holidays, so he comes into the city to do a podcast on his holidays, which is much appreciated. But
here's what my holidays have looked like. I called up a buddy. I'm like, "You got holiday time?" He's like, "Yeah, I think he had 19 days and something he had to take this year yet." I said, "Here's the deal. Take off a couple days. I'll pay you cash. Come help me work." All right. So I've literally most of my holidays are working. So he took off a couple days. We went to my cabin and we've just been I'm telling you guys, that whole working all day stuff is hard.
You and me are really different people. You know that?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. really different people. It's funny because yesterday on the last podcast, you said something about like we're all very three distinct personalities, and GM was like, "No, you're not. Like you're all very similar." But when you say things like that, we are very different personalities because. I'm not on holidays, and I don't plan on doing a whole lot of work today.
So I sit in the office most days. Obviously, that's my job now, and I've been installing pine and shiplap and barnwood and flooring.
What is it?
Shiplap.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what shiplap is?
Of course I do.
What is it?
Well, you go on, and we'll talk about it later.
So I've been installing that shit, and the flooring I got made for my cabin was out of old beams from grain elevators, and I got them sawn down and tongue and grooved the skins of those beams, and it's just the process in this floor I'll never do again because we got to install it. It's all rough and broken. It's 100
tongue the groove of a.
That's man. I'm so glad that you got that because I was trying to think of something. I was struggling to think of something.
Wouldn't want to do it again.
I can't let that go. There's no way that can just fly by and no one says anything about it.
Yeah. So anyways, I got to install it. We get a hand sander with an orbital. We sand it, lacquer it, sand it, and 3 more coats of lacquer. So it's like a process of this floor.
Fuck.
I'm done doing it. I just finished last stream yesterday. Actually, the wife's headed there this morning. She's going to do all the hand sanding and the lacquer and hand sanding while I'm in the podcast.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it works.
While she's making your brisket.
Yeah. She's better on her knees than I am.
Wow, what a hard worker, Danielle.
Yeah.
That's great. So yeah,
that's my idea of a holiday.
That's not my idea of a life, even of like a working life.
We worked till 8:00 each night. Yeah,
that's crazy. I mean, I was doing mobility work at the gym until 8 p.m. last night. If that counts for anything.
I didn't mind this morning.
Well, with how wide your legs are spread, it looks better.
Yeah, like I feel good. I feel much better. I've been feeling like absolute dog shit going into Westerns here. So, yeah,
is that a good sign?
I did last year.
We generally have a theory. Often, if you're prepping, I learned this from you guys a lot. If you're rolling into a show feeling great, usually the show doesn't go that well.
Yeah.
And if you're going in feeling like absolute dog shit, it seems that you PR and you do really well at the show is the consensus I found.
I did well last year when I felt really bad at Westerns.
And you did good at Morris, feeling like shit, even though you had plantar fasciitis and everything going on.
Yeah, I'm still dealing with that a little bit. But this show, and I feel bad. I feel shitty in pretty much the exact same ways. Like I missed my last log.
Same thing as last year.
Yeah, same as last year. Like it's like 1 for 1 basically. So yeah, I'm not taking it too much to heart. We'll see how I feel after a week of just kind of resting and recovering and stuff. But yeah, we got it wrong last year. Last week we said that Vita and Westerns would already be done, but after this one,
Westerns
they will be done.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that's the case. I have 2 athletes for sure that are feeling like absolute dog shit rolling into this show, and I dialed them back ready on Monday because my kids.
For Vita?
Yeah, they're just not feeling great. Like just leg and injury stuff. So I'm really hoping the whole theory of feeling like shit going in.
Yeah.
Is going to produce good results,
yeah.
Or I'm just a horrible coach.
Are they newer or more experienced athletes?
More experienced.
Yeah,
and I think it was the fact that they just did shows and they rolled in and just trying to do the bridge in between the shows.
Yeah,
it was a bit, but I think they'll do good.
Yeah, well, it's like I don't know. I think that people sometimes have a tendency to overstate like how taxing shows are. Like the day of and the day after, you feel like absolute shit. But really, like I think that for me personally, I do more work on or as much work on an event day. Than
a comp. Oh, by far.
You know what I mean? And then I've also done 3 other days that week, which I haven't done in a competition week. You know what I mean? So I think that people sometimes kind of overstate a little bit how like.
Have you guys ever found rolling out of, because you've competed way more than I have, rolling out of a show and feeling like a heavy show, like Morris, let's say for instance, was a heavy show for a lot of the guys, and you're feeling absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
After the show, and then you crash hard.
Yeah.
So I was Pat did the Morris show, and he came back in the gym the next day, and I was like, that's a little early, I thought. And he's like, man, I feel so great. And about 4 or 5 days later, all of a sudden, boom, puking, shitting. Yeah. And I'm like, and I knew it was coming. Like it's like the body just crashes. Probably everywhere.
That's funny.
He probably even shit where he eat.
Well, that's. I mean, that's true too. Though, is that like sometimes you get that delayed response where you think you're good, and then all of a sudden, and maybe you are good, and then you push it that little bit further with some more training, and then like, oh, actually, now I'm not good anymore.
I should have dialed it back for a couple days. Yeah.
Also, but our last episode was pretty well received, at least on the YouTube numbers that we were looking at. So thanks to everybody who listened and watched and also engaged in the podcast.
Yeah, the comments.
Yeah, we had lots of comments.
Besides Aaron, whoever that piece of shit is.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Thanks to the listen. The guy who was mocking the name of our podcast, Strong and Petty.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you stole it from. I'm never gonna watch that show. Strong
Man,
and History.
that show was so bad.
I canceled my satellite 5 years ago, so I don't have these shows anymore. I just got whatever the one show I watch on Netflix. Maybe or
Who was it? It was Brian Shaw, Nick Best, Thor, and Eddie. No, not Thor.
no, not Thor and Eddie on the same show.
Yeah, no, I guess that wouldn't have worked for their
Yeah,
fake
it was Eddie
for their
Hall.
fake fight they had.
Oh,
that
Nick
wouldn't
Best,
work.
yeah, Robert Oberst and Brian Shaw.
Obers, that's who it was. That jabroni. So it was a bunch of guys. Yeah, a show that none of us watched that sucked. And I watched the first episode, and all it was them pretending that things hadn't been done in history to do them. They're like, oh, we're gonna do this Viking, like the mast carry, where they do the thing on their back and carry it. They're like, this has never been done. And it's like, if you search it on YouTube, like Thor did it like 2 years earlier, and it's just like, okay, never been done outside of Iceland by Thor, I guess. But yeah, sure. So we didn't watch that stupid show, you asshole. So we don't care about where the podcast name came from. We are three gentlemen who are maybe not the most sharp-witted, and we needed a name for a podcast. So fuck you. And that's
But thanks for watching the show.
but also at the same time, thanks for the engagement, asshole. That's what these people don't realize, man, is that if you fucking comment, even if you're like, this sucks and I hate it, guess what? That's engagement.
Yeah, and we
win.
love it.
And we win. So fuck you.
I hope the hate mail just picks up on there.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually enjoy replying back.
If you don't like the podcast, I urge you as much as anything else to comment and say how much the podcast sucks, because that just helps the algorithm too. So don't do the thumbs down, but
Comment negatively, but at least give the thumbs up.
And then subscribe.
And
afterwards.
subscribe, yeah.
But you never know. Maybe we'll get better and you'll start.
Did we
liking
gain
it
a
more.
bunch of subscribers on the Whiskey Tango page?
I think we're up 30.
Nice, awesome. So there we go.
So we're getting close to karaoke night at Limelight.
Yeah, so we're seeing a nice little bit of progression there.
I better get on those voice lessons.
Yeah, if you know, like we saw sort of like the normal trajectory of like a podcast where people wanted to hear what was going on first, and then it kind of levels off a little bit, and now I think we're seeing that increase again now, which is nice. So if you were like, hey, if your friend was like, yeah, I tried that podcast and it really sucked. Hey, they're getting better, so give it another shot.
Jeffers
sometime.
said I was funny, and he was really sincere.
Jeffers is the king of comedy. Everyone knows him as Mr. Personality.
Yeah,
so
I mean that guy's
Really?
no.
Yeah. Okay. that was a surprise.
Jeffers is Moose Jaw personified. I think he's funny, but I think that he's a guy you got to get to know.
I think the only
get
reason
to
he
know
thought
a
I was
little
funny
bit.
is because he caught on to the inbred joke I made there.
Yeah, I think that's what he thought was funny
and
too.
we connected there.
Yeah.
Eyes.
You and the Mennonite and you and the Moose Jaw and him connected over the inbred joke.
Yeah, we met up. met up over a sheep in the field. He brought the Velcro gloves. I brought the rubber boots.
I'm trying to think who would be like. It's not Jeffers, but I'm wondering who's like Mr. Personality in Strongman. Colton's got a pretty big personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Sean Hayes. I guess I would have to pick myself. That's who I would go with on that one.
Who'd be Mr. Outside of our pro strongman in Manitoba, who would be Mr. Personality in Manitoba?
Ooh.
Well, it'd be me, obviously, but I'm semi-retired.
Well, if you want to talk like weight class behavior, probably Garrett from Brandon, because he has all the brightly colored gear.
Oh, hell yeah. He came out to my gym this weekend.
Yeah.
Drove out for 3 hours just to do power stairs.
Yeah,
yes.
I do like when I see these guys making that extra effort to get out there and do the power stairs and stuff. So that'll be one of the exciting things about Vita is that we're doing the power stairs, which you never really see as a comp. Very rarely do you see it because nobody has the stairs.
Well, and so Gord went up and above again and made me 3 pins, sent me pictures last night. He got them all laser cut and welded so we can have more weights than power stairs because I only have so many implements.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Sick. Thanks, Gord.
Yeah, and thanks to all the guys that came out. I put out the thing, drop in fee $10, come out and learn power stairs, and then when everybody was there, we conned them all and helped me load the trailer. But I'm
good.
like, I just said, hey guys, or actually one of the, I forget, it might have even been Jocelyn. I said, hey, in between, while we're all doing power stairs, in between, why don't we help load the trailer? And they all, the Lolis both came out. They helped load the trailer.
Nice.
Everybody would load the trailer, and it was minutes, and that saved me a ton of time.
Yeah,
and
no
effort.
doubt. Yeah.
So I really appreciate everybody who came out and
More
helped.
hands, less work, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The strongman community coming together to help.
Yeah.
someone in need.
To help me.
Devin. Truly the most
Yeah.
man in need.
It meant so much to me. My eyes straightened when I said thank you.
Wow, yeah,
I'm telling you.
that's an important moment for you. Me and Dan and also Kelsey from my gym. Also, yeah. So I didn't understand what was happening when you pointed it out last time. That I said like, oh yeah, one of the girls from my gym did really well in a powerlifting meet.
I was still wondering who that was.
And then I didn't mention the name. And then at the end, you were like, yeah, like that nameless. And I didn't. I was just like went over my head. Kelsey from my gym.
I
She's
assumed
the
it
one.
was her.
Yeah,
but I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong.
Yeah, she's the one who went and smashed a really huge squat at provincials.
Cracked
and
407.8
or something.
Yeah.
So we'll call it 408. And so me and Dan decided we were going to do a Highland Games competition.
Yeah.
So this was last week, which is the week, or last Saturday, which is the week before.
I didn't
Westerns.
catch on to the Photoshop kilt. I actually thought you were wearing it.
No, I was not.
And I had to take a second
I
glance.
got away without the kilt, which is nice.
I messaged Tyler. I'm like, it kind of looks real.
It does look real. It looked real enough.
Until
for
I
sure.
seen your comment.
I
didn't know.
A few people asked me about it.
It worked for you though.
Yeah.
You know, I think that I could pull it off if I needed to. We went, yeah, and then Kelsey showed up just to watch, and then she was like, "Do you mind if I just jump in?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure, fuck it." So,
So Kelsey joined.
yeah, she ended up doing it too.
know.
Yeah,
Okay.
she joined the morning of. She just came to watch it and just ended up just being like, "Yeah, I'll do it too." She would be. I'm going to be curious at the end of the year. I want to count her and Dan's competitions because they're going to be real neck and neck for who's competed the most this summer. Because I think that she might edge him out because she's doing powerlifting too.
Yeah.
But she's doing like 3 powerlifting meets, like 4 or 5 strongman competitions, this Highland Games competition. Like,
I love that.
I say it all the time, like how great it is to compete as much as you possibly can, and never mind competing as much as you can in your sport, but also trying a bunch of other shit too. You know what I mean? So, I was pretty bad at the Highland Games stuff.
How did Cody do?
Really well. Oh yes, I'm sorry. Cody Ryan was there too. 'Cause I was thinking of people from my gym.
He's
but
doing
yes,
every.
but Cody Ryan went
He's
there
doing every
too.
comp, and he's doing. I think if I'm correct, he's running marathons. I think he did a 5K or a 10K. If I'm correct,
I
correct me if I'm wrong.
think you might be right.
Yeah.
That's lame.
That's disgusting.
But the rest of it's cool.
What about your log toss?
What's that?
Your log toss.
Oh, the caber toss?
The caber thing.
Did
That
he
was-
even, did he even do a quarter turn? I was watching the video.
I did. I threw it 3 times, and 1 time it rotated, and the rest of them I couldn't get it.
It just went straight up in the air and
cut
back
both
down?
My fingers trying to do it, and it was just like, this is a stupid sport. But I didn't even know the rules of that. Like I thought it was just throw it as far as you can, but there's like a way you needed to fall a certain direction.
Oh yeah, and you needed to
shit.
flip over.
Well, you needed to flip first of all,
Yeah.
and then it's like you want it to fall like at like if it's a face of a clock, you want it to fall at noon. I thought it was just throw it as far as you could.
Yeah.
And then someone clued me in that it's like no, this is not just like retard strength stuff. This is you have
Did
to. Have a
Dan,
little
did
bit
Dan
of
beat
touch
you?
I don't know.
So long ago.
Yeah, who can remember? Who can remember? I'm gonna say no, but I can't remember for sure. Yeah, no, he did. He got second, and I got third. And it was.
Who got first? Was Jason competing?
Jason was in his own division technically because he's a pro.
Oh, okay.
So he there was another gentleman named Carl who snuck out, or I shouldn't say snuck out. I think he pretty well dominated. He won. But Dan and Kelsey both have backgrounds in track, so they were like pretty good at the throwing stuff and all that shit.
Okay.
And I was like, it couldn't have felt less natural and less normal to me. Like when it was doing like that thing, we got a cannonball attached to a chain, and you got to swing it, and like I was like, holy shit! I just had no idea where I was at any given time that I was.
Yeah,
doing
and you're
that.
doing the
And, like,
spin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, so I just like throw it as hard as I can, basically. And there was like there's one where you have to do a 2-foot planted throw with a stone, and then there's one where you can like run up or spin. And I actually threw it less far with the run up than the just foot planted, so I just did it the foot planted way afterwards. So it's a cool sport, and it was like it would be really fun to like if I like
Is that
learn
the correct way of
technique.
saying that? Is less far?
Closer, I believe, would be the term.
Just going back to the gross thing.
But I
Because to me,
didn't-
less far sounded normal.
less
I'm
far.
kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
kidding.
yeah, I probably did.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's less far. It's not as far as the next thing.
Gross doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. No,
It's your gross income.
gross. Gross? Like, is that a for real? Is that a for real thing that you would say?
That's probably what I've been saying.
If you were like
Back to the successful business joke.
I like that
I can't do my own books.
because who would you have said that to would have been like your accountant or something probably,
Yeah.
right? And he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna let this fucking go.
You know,
'Cause
I think
I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, my
with this
accountant
guy.
is so. I don't think he listens to this podcast, but he's on another level of smart that he can't dumb down his words to talk to me properly. and I'm so dumbed down that
Well,
we just.
well, especially when you're pronouncing the word
Yeah,
gross wrong.
he
Like,
probably
he's
just
gonna
lets
be
it
like-
pass this point already.
Yeah,
It's not
He's like,
worth it.
I'm not going to take this.
Just wants numbers.
Send me your books,
Just tell me
Devin,
how much fucking money you
so
made,
I
right?
could so I could fix what you've done wrong.
Wait, have you ever heard him say the word gross or gross?
No.
Come on.
Oh, probably.
Yeah,
But-
and you just ignored it.
Yeah, maybe.
Beaks, what's going on with you?
Not much.
Yeah, how have you been? Over to my right.
I was on set the other night, overnight, which just killed yesterday for me.
So how was your first stripper role?
What are you filming?
Wow, that's the first time I've heard that joke.
First time today or ever?
I'm pretty close.
Suck on it.
Put it in your mouth, yeah.
Looks a little small, but
And then working on soft production for my movie.
Oh yeah.
well, like for your screenplay.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
my
What are you
screenplay.
What are you filming right now? Like, what's the thing you're upset for?
The one I was in was just a quick little Hallmark one-day gig. I won't bash it, but there.
It's gonna make it big.
It's Hallmark.
Those
I
are
mean,
fun. I remember one time I was doing extra work for one of those, and I showed up wearing like a baseball tee,
yeah,
like a black sleeve and white shirt.
yeah,
And they were like, "Well, you can't like." They didn't tell me this, but they're like, "You can't wear a white shirt. Like that's like
big no.
it's like a big spotlight being on you, basically.
Yeah.
I guess, which I wouldn't have known that. But
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, like they're like, you have another shirt?" And I was like, "No." And then they were like, "Well, do you fit any of our shirts that we have here?" And I was like, "No."
Hard
I don't.
no.
Yeah, I was like, "No, I don't." And they were like, "Okay." So then they're like, "Well, just stay in the holding, and I guess we'll call you if we can use you for something."
Yeah.
So I just sat in the holding all fucking day and got paid the
great.
exact same. Like,
Yeah.
for some of those people that you like, I'm sure this is probably something you experience all the time. But when you go to those extra things, like there's people who are very excited to be on TV.
Oh yeah,
Or in a movie or
Like
whatever
even as
it
an
might
extra.
be, just to be seen, like just have a moment that they can pause and show all their buddies and screen cap, whatever. Whereas for me, I've done enough of those things where I truly could not care less.
Yeah.
And so I was thrilled just to sit and holding where there was food and just like sat on my phone and I had
Endless
like,
food,
I had
endless coffee.
I had an outlet next to me, so I just plugged in my phone and hung out there for like
Yeah.
about 8 hours. And
If
it
you
was
ever
great.
write a screenplay where you're like the Adam Sandler, I hope you cast me as Crazy Eyes.
it'll be
he's
done.
in pretty
It'll be
much-
done one day.
He's pretty much in every one of
So
Adam
shall
Sandler's
I.
movies,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you go back to all of them, I think he's in majority of them.
Yeah, well, ultimately, my end goal is they call it like the Sandler verse,
yeah,
where he just makes sure all his friends
yeah.
have work
have a
and
job,
get paid, and that is my end goal to get to that point where I'm creating things that also create work for my buddies.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
That'd be sweet.
You can be remember in Big Daddy where there's the two gay
Yeah.
friends. There you go, buddy.
Me and Beaks.
You and anybody.
Me and-
It doesn't matter. Who it
well,
is.
if I'm writing it, I'm certainly not writing it for you and I.
Also, it's not going to be based on a true story.
So wait. There's something. I felt like there's something that I wanted to bring up about what something. Oh fuck, we were talking about Vita. Oh yeah, Vita. So we. Holy shit! It's so fucking early, guys.
Did we cut? were we done talking about Beaks' screenplay?
I don't know.
That's
I feel like I lost my train of thought.
Good. We talked about what we can talk about.
Okay. Anyway. Why don't we? Since I completely derailed the podcast there with just absolutely nothing. Why don't we try a question just to get the old?
Do
old
you have the
juices
questions
flowing
up on the
here.
computer? Am I just rolling through these? Name all of your exes. Yeah.
Name all of my exes.
I don't know if we have
Beaks'
enough
mom,
time.
Brett's mom, Devin's mom.
What's that DMX song?
Yeah, Shalanda.
Shakisha.
Name all of your exes. I've had one ex-girlfriend in my life.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a short list for Devin, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's short. By the way, thanks for all the small dick jokes on Instagram after last episode. I had buddies sending me all sorts of videos.
Videos of what? That's good. You got some good friends there.
So some of you obviously want to see me get divorced according to these questions I'm rolling through here.
Wait a second. We're on our producer's WhatsApp on the screen here, and
What?
who's the clan?
What is that? what is going on here?
Meeting at 7.
Yeah.
That's why Devin came to town.
Yeah. Well, I got
Okay,
my
I'm
enclosed
gonna-
trailer with.
I'll pull them up here.
I got it here too if we need be.
Oh, okay, let's. How about this? How about
Do we start from the beginning?
you? No, let's
Let's
do
start
this.
at the end.
Let's start at the end.
Is yours?
Oh, find one that you want to ask, Devin.
No,
Oh,
you can do it because yeah. Is the Earth flat?
Yes.
Yes.
Dumbest shit in the world.
So I really
people
can't,
out there believe that shit.
I really can't stress. I personally know people.
No,
I do. And I do. I love. I've watched a 3-hour video on the subject. I love watching that stuff.
I
really
follow.
So do you believe it's flat?
No, but I like watching the stuff.
Yeah.
Because YouTube will convince you of anything.
No, you got to go.
No,
you gotta
YouTube
go
will
look.
convince
went deep
you
dive.
of anything.
Where did you deep dive?
There's a website called BitChute, which is like YouTube,
Oh, yeah.
but there's no regulations and there's nobody pays attention to that's their deal is that nothing will get taken down. So you got to be careful. But it's
So I'm going to throw someone under the bus here because Janaea, when she was living in the States, was convinced the Earth was flat.
nice. Yes, nice.
And it was the best thing ever for me because it just gave me more ammo to make fun of her about.
all the people that I know that do believe that are very they're very devout Christians. Because there's a religious aspect to it.
Is there?
Yes, there is.
Well, I hope they all just walk off the edge one day.
I follow a flat Earth account on Twitter,
Yeah.
and on one hand, it's hilarious, and the way they always spin it into government stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
government's hiding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the back of my mind, I'm always like, if someone sees that I follow this account,
Well, that
then I'm
becomes-
associated
yes.
Yeah.
with that. And
That becomes the issue.
Yeah.
When I was watching those BitChute videos, there was one that I watched that because I love watching even if I don't agree with 1 second of it, I love watching those videos. I love just checking them all out and stuff. And I'll like I said, I'll watch literally hours. I'll sit and watch them. So I watched that Flat Earth one, which was I think it was like 2.5 hours long. And then I watched another one that just rolled into that. So I started watching that one. And then the one after that was something like, it was a picture, like the screen picture was like this Jewish guy, and I was like, oh, time to get out of here. So I closed that one, and I was like, all right, I've entered into the no-no
Yeah.
area here.
People get convinced. Look at that vegan shit on Netflix. Everyone's like, oh, everybody's got to be vegan now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's whatever you see. Whatever you see last is what people tend to.
Wasn't Arnold pushing
lean
that shit
towards.
for a couple weeks too? He was vegan.
Yeah.
How long did that last?
Arnold's a
couple
goof.
weeks.
Yeah.
Arnold's a good video.
There's an actual strength in going into a deep dive of something you disagree with.
Yeah.
Because when these conversations come up, you're actually
You know what they're
as
talking about.
knowledgeable or more knowledgeable about their side, which strengthens your defense.
All right, I'll watch a Flat Earth video this week.
Yeah.
I'm on holidays. I got time.
I enjoy it. And I am a bit of a conspiracy theorist myself. So
I'm big into
Not me. I'm straight and narrow.
I'm big into UFO stuff.
UFO shit, yeah.
And even though I actually do believe in it,
Well, I don't think there's much to believe in that. Like that just seems like it's very much the case, probably,
Yeah.
right? Like,
I'm starting to. Yeah, that seems becoming more and more. There was an article yesterday about a Marine or a Navy guy that released some stuff from what he's seen over the last 14 years. I was just reading the article, and there seems to be a lot of shit.
yeah.
Yeah, for the UFO stuff.
My the same Christian guy that I'm talking about, he thinks that aliens are angels. What do you think about that?
Oh man, I'm not. I believe in angels and demons. There's no doubt about it because I've seen them, so I have to believe them.
But then is alien
Man, that
is an alien
seems
an angel or a demon maybe?
maybe a demon.
Because he also says that when you take drugs and you go crazy, that's you entering like a demon realm.
I've never taken drugs, so
But I'm just saying that's what it is. Though.
never. Nothing's ever entered my body through a needle.
Okay.
Backdoor entrance only.
Yeah.
Depositories only.
Oh, there's a good joke for that one. I don't know if you say that here, but
Who is the biggest hog of the three of you?
clearly, according to our last podcast,
It's
me. If we're going surely on genetics and size of limbs and everything else, I would say Tyler's got us beat. But
I win girth. Total tuna can.
I was gonna tell you guys, I may not hit the bottom of a tuna can, but I sure as hell ain't hitting the sides either.
The way that I would describe this is like, what's the most beautiful city? Winnipeg, Regina, or Brandon? It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's really not. It's not.
You're still the best of the
Yeah,
prairies.
yeah, like-
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know who could have possibly asked that, but there's your answer.
Yeah.
I think this one's directed more at me and Devin than anything else. But when are you guys going to build a bridge and get over COVID? Never.
I want to fight that guy.
Never is the
Wow.
answer. So
Yeah, I've
fuck
seen
you.
the one. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Build a bridge
Probably,
and get over
probably
COVID.
that
I
Aaron
ju-
guy from YouTube.
Yeah. If I knew how to operate computers and find his IP address.
Fuck you. That's
I always
when-
like that shit. What are you going to build
When
a
I-
bridge
when
and get
I-
over COVID?
When I get all the money back that I lost from my gym being closed
Yeah.
during COVID, that's when I'll fucking get over it. So
Yeah.
fuck you.
When all those people who said that I shouldn't get healthcare go and get sick and die by themselves without health care.
There you go.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that.
That's how I feel about it too. So fuck you.
Yeah.
Which Manitoba strongman smashed the most ass? This is a very specific one, so it's obviously somebody specific asking it.
Clearly.
Which Manitoba strongman smashed the most ass in 2009 to 2016?
Jeez. What a specific
So
question.
it's obviously somebody who competed in those several
Yeah.
years.
I'm saying Brent Ham.
Is it a Greek friend of ours?
I would guess.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask, did John Wade finally listen to our podcast and send a question?
Oh.
I would say if we're talking, well, because it creeps into 2016, so I get 2 years in there. So it would be. I mean, I think Dom wins probably.
Oh, we're saying names?
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
That would have to, yeah.
I'll say Dirty Dom.
Dirty Dom.
Maybe
John Wade.
John and me maybe pulling up second.
Second and third.
I had a pretty wild few years there. This one will be really more for Beaks.
If we're saying frequency the same one, it'd probably be me.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's
So I
true.
don't think anyone asked a question about something nobody cares about.
Yeah, if you who's had the most monogamous sex with their wife? And I do want to just make a reminder that Devin's daughter is sitting right in front of us right now.
Yeah, you should keep,
Okay.
keep your headphones in.
F, marry, kill. I'll say F, as if I hadn't said it
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000 times before this. But F, marry, kill.
Why is this for me? Wherever this goes, why is it for me?
It's two people that you're very connected with, or at least
Yeah.
in the past. John Wade, Chris McDole, or Ben Thompson.
What a random third.
Why throw Ben in there?
Thompson is not really reasonable to be in the third there. So.
Yeah, like the first two make
Holy.
sense. So I thought it would be Chris McDole, the third one.
Am I
Right?
topping or bottoming?
Ladies' choice.
Ladies'
You'd be
choice.
bottoming.
I'd be bottoming.
No, you can choose whatever you want.
Yeah. I think I'd make love to Ben Thompson.
Sure.
He seems like he'd be a cuddler after.
Yeah.
This is really hard.
Yeah.
Really, really hard one.
I mean, marrying the other two,
Can you imagine?
yeah. It's one and the same, even though they're so different. Chris and I have spent the most time together, and I think I could cohabituate with him.
There'd be less of like getting to know each other curve. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I'll marry Chris and kill John Wade.
All right.
That's it.
What about you?
Oh,
But Ben would definitely be a cuddler after.
Yeah.
And he's leaned out, too. He looks good now.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, I wouldn't marry John Wade. I think he would step outside our marriage. So
Yeah.
You wouldn't want that.
yeah, and he'd be too wide for my hands. So so I'd have to kill John. Sorry, John, love you, but that Mary would probably be Ben. I think I could live, grow some business with him and probably be good with the kids.
That's true.
And look at the dude
Nice-
from how
nice-
heavy he got. He could make some good supper for
Nice
me.
blended family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you would be my side chick.
I'm not on the list.
I thought you were.
No, it's McDole.
No.
Oh,
why
for
why would
shit's
it be
sakes.
directed at me if I'm on the list?
I don't know. That's true. Yeah, I guess McDole. McDole's my side
It's
chick.
also worth pointing out how much that Devin had to just block out of that last conversation to assume that it was you on the thing and not McDole. Like, we just
thought it
talked
was.
about McDole.
This goes back to the gay scene in the movies. Sorry, McDole, you're my side chick. I'm sure I'll get a DM for this afterwards.
Some of these are just ridiculous. I don't even know if they're worth even asking.
No, some are dumb. Which we knew by doing the anonymous thing.
We knew that we knew.
we knew we'd get some great ones.
The power of anonymity.
Yeah, like we knew we were gonna get some dumb ones, but like I will say that our listeners and viewers never cease to amaze with how
love
dumb
them all.
they can be.
If you send me these privately, I'll answer them from your own personal Instagram account.
I like this one. Did you ever pee or poo during an event?
Now, are they talking like mid-lift?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's got to be.
I would assume they don't mean like going to the
But
porta
I,
potty.
I love the whole like. Wouldn't you just say, "Have you ever shit yourself during a lift?" No.
I like
have
pee-
you ever
pee or
pee or poo? It's like this has got one of our more conservative Christian viewers.
have either of you ever shit yourself in a lift?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The video's on YouTube.
Really?
And it was funny because it's the worst setup. They set the monolift too high, but I didn't check it because you test beforehand, and you just assume it's right for the rest of the meat.
Right.
Yeah.
And they didn't adjust it properly, so I'm trying to unrack, and I'm like, it's not working, and people are cheering for me like like you're the slow kid on the high school basketball team. Like, come on, you can do it. You can. I'm like, I know I can do it, right?
Just get it off the rack, buddy.
And then finally we realized the monolift's at the wrong height. And at the time, it was like a 570, something like that, squat. And I go down, and I'm coming up, and like halfway through the way up, it starts to come out.
Wow.
And,
Just prairie dogging his way out.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you lost your brace when you were shitting?
I don't remember at the time, but I remember like I'm pretty in the moment when I squat, and my mind just went away.
Yeah.
And I hit the squat, I hit depth, I got 2 or 3 white lights, whatever, and I turn around, and the spotter is this massive guy, I don't know who he is, just gives me like a rip on the chest. Great, hell of a squat, man, hell of a squat. I'm like, I shit myself. And I turn, I'm walking, and McDole comes out, and he's all jacked up, and I'm like, I just look at him, I'm like, I shit myself. I went straight through the warm-up room, straight to the bathroom, threw my gitch in the underwear, and like an hour later, Chris was like, you really did shit yourself. I'm like, yeah, I told you. He's like, yeah, I saw your underwear sitting on the top of the garbage. I think that's the only time, though.
You ever shit yourself?
Yeah, I think I have. I think I have squatting. Yoke, I've had issues, but
Really? The yoke? It's such a small...
heavy yoke.
Oh, that's interesting.
You guys ever had that? Have we ever talked about this on the podcast? You ever had that the yoke also just disappears?
No.
Heavy yoke. I was talking to somebody in the gym the other day in Strongman. They had the same issue. If I go super, super heavy, dick just disappears. It's gone. Yep.
What?
As soon as I go like 800-900 pound yoke, it's like everything just gets guarded. It's just like, whoop, it just disappears.
So did you check it with the yoke on your back?
Yeah, you're like
Yeah.
poking around?
Yeah. Because I look down, I can't see it anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not a regular occurrence.
But going back to the shitting one, I've got to
No.
We can go back to
Hold
this, but I gotta go. So I had, I get lots of Uncle Sis, shouldn't not too bad. Years back, as soon as you said shitting yourself,
Pooing yourself.
No, I didn't say shitting myself. I said poo or pee.
My uncle went to Walmart and he was trying on jeans, and I think he was trying on jeans. Wasn't wearing any underwear, obviously, because that's just my uncle. And he's got in the change room with the jeans, and he goes to fart, and he shits in this pair of jeans at Walmart.
Wow.
He takes them back out, folds them back up, puts them back on the
my
shelf, and
goodness.
leaves. And he's like, my mom asked him, like, how much? He's like, it was more than a spoonful.
Oh, my God. That's so
What a
foul.
measurement for poo.
Yeah, that's the most... That couldn't have been any grosser, the measurement that he gave.
So you imagine going to Walmart, you pull his jeans out, you try them on, you slide them up your leg.
That's so foul. That is so foul. So gross.
You're gonna double check every pair of pants you
Oh
guys
my
ever try on
goodness.
again.
Why does their dick disappear when you do
I don't know. It's gone.
But like, how do you know?
How do I know?
Yeah, how do you know? Like,
You can feel it also just like migrates in, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. And then once you get off the heavy yoke for a minute, it just comes back to normal.
That's so bizarre. I've never...
This little snail that's
Yeah.
looking for protection, going back in his shell.
I'm not as aware of my body as you are. 'Cause
Maybe
I
you
would-
just haven't
I would-
lifted as heavy as me.
Maybe I've never lifted as heavy as you.
I
'cause
haven't. Yeah,
I would never have noticed
you've done a
that.
1,000-pound yoke, so you've lifted heavy as me.
I've never heard
No?
that in my life. No.
Comment. I was talking to a couple guys in the gym a couple months, maybe it was at a comp, and they said the same thing when
That's
they get
so
super
strange.
like max effort. Yeah,
I know that. Okay, so like for wrestling,
I don't know if it's a defense mechanism of that thing being like, we're migrating the hell out of here.
well, for wrestling, like we wear like trunks, right? Like
Yep.
tight trunks. So there's a lot of compression. And when you wrestle, like the blood goes, like you're getting a pump like everywhere except there. So it's never like a pretty sight, like when you get to the back and take your trunks off. Like I know
Yeah.
that. So maybe there's some sort of effect to that. That maybe you're getting all the blood flow elsewhere.
Similar.
And it can't spare a drop, the normal drop that it takes.
It's a couple drops for the record.
I don't think I've ever shit myself lifting, which is a boring answer, but I do. There was a guy who came to McDole's or Midtown for a little while, and then he came to my gym for a while, and I won't say his real name, but I will say that we all called him Jumanji.
Well, I just knew it was going there.
Yeah.
I just knew it was going there.
He's a bit of a legendary character in between the two gyms, because he's called Jumanji because he looked like he tried to grow a beard out, and he looked like when the kid cheats in Jumanji and starts turning into a monkey. You ever
Yeah.
seen the movie? That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
So we started calling him Jumanji, and he was like, and it's funny because Gian like remembers the day that she, like the date of it, because she like reminds me every year that he was just like squatting, and I was spotting him, and I was like, all right. So he like stands up, he racks it, and he just had, like, he's just like frozen under the bar, like he's like in the rack under the bar, not moving. And I was like, I walk around from the backside to the front, I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I just shit my pants. And I was like, are you serious? And he just like was frozen there. He's like, yes. And I was like, go to the bathroom and take care of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. So he walks to the bathroom, and then I want to say that he just threw out his gitch and just kept going, I think, which is respectable. I think that's the move.
Just hope it doesn't shit through his shorts, though.
Yeah, it doesn't happen again. Yeah. Remember one time he showed up, and he started lifting in a powerlifting singlet, like just in the middle of Midtown. And I was like, why? I walked over. I was like, he's like warming up on the bike, and I was like, why are you wearing a powerlifting singlet?
Yeah.
And he was just like, and he had this very distinctive way of talking, but he was like, I just forgot my shorts. I didn't have any shorts in my bag. And I was like, why do you leave an extra powerlifting singlet and not an extra pair of shorts in your fucking bag, dude? You've never competed in powerlifting. Why do you have that? That guy was just like, he was such a character. I miss him a little bit.
Big character, yeah.
I thought he was still at your gym.
I only would have assumed that he was still
No,
there.
he's been gone for a little while. Unfortunately, he moved to another part of the city and it wasn't feasible, but we miss him every day, and I hope he comes back. Okay, so and that is for the P part. I think that affects ladies a lot more than it affects the guys.
Yeah.
But I remember specifically there was this was one that I was like, it kind of like made me shut the fuck up. Was there's a woman from Saskatoon, I think, who was powerlifting, and there was a powerlifting competition the same day as a strongman competition, and she hit a deadlift, some sort of provincial record, whatever, pissed herself. And then afterwards, I was trying to like lightly make fun of her, and I was like, "Oh, pissy pants, what's going on?" And she just like dead-eyed me, and she was like, "But I got the lift, right?" And I was like, "Yep, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up then, because you sure fucking did." So if you don't care, there's nothing to make fun of then. So which I was like, "Oh, damn, respect for that." I just reading it over again. Did you ever pee or poo during an event? That makes me laugh. There's like no question mark either.
Yeah.
It's just like
Definitely one of my friends.
One of your kids.
You send this question, Morgan?
So this is a serious question that I want to have a serious answer to, and it's not for Devin, and it's not for Dave, and it's not for me.
Oh, great.
Keeping in mind that this is what people are asking us because they want to know. They want to get to know you, Devin. This is how our podcast grows. So
people want more Devin.
Yeah,
they want to know the answers.
You have to answer these questions
How the
sincerely
typical conservative
and to the best of your ability.
white male family live.
Yeah, they want to. That's the thing, is that a lot of the people who listen and watch the podcast are from the city. They're my friends, or they're Beeks' friends, or whatever. Well, they're my friends, and
I have like 3 friends, and one of them's producing this show.
And they don't know enough about the country life, right? They don't understand being a one-woman man. They don't understand growing old with your partner and having a family and all that, right? So this is all new to them. So when they ask the question, if Devin wasn't with his wife, who would he get with? And it has to be somebody that he already knows. That's also added to the question.
Is that, and it has to be somebody you already knows?
That's what it is. It says, if Devin
That's
wasn't with his wife,
that
who would he get with? And it has to be someone that he already knows.
If Devin answers this question, he's going to have to get with that second person because he won't have a wife.
You might make 2 people's day.
Get your get out jail free card.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I made enough money yet for to leave me.
Are we taking an official pass on that question?
Well, hell yeah, I'm taking an official pass on this question.
Wow. Are you a coward?
No.
I never took you for a coward.
No, we don't know. I'll answer the question. It's a fair question.
Okay.
For whoever asked, so they want to know, but there is only one woman for me, and that's my wife.
Okay.
So there is nobody else. I couldn't imagine getting with anybody other than Dave in a movie set.
We'll make it happen.
All right, so
That's the one woman man.
There's Devin's very safe, calculated answer to that question. Very smart, very smart. Also for Devin.
Yeah, I'm like this.
Okay. Well, actually, I don't like this one. This one's a little bit too. It was like, if your wife and kids are drowning, you can only save one. Who are you saving? Let's not ask that question, actually.
Wow. You can only save one.
It says, well, no, it's actually what it says is it says Devin, ... which makes it all the creepier.
Yeah.
If your wife and kids were drowning and you could kill your kids to save your wife or vice versa, which do you choose?
Oh, my kids are going to hate me for this.
Well, you can make more kids, right?
Yeah, that's
you can't create a new
Morgan,
Danielle.
you're drowning. I don't know how to tell you this. You better hope that we don't all drown as a family.
But just keep that knowledge with you for the rest of your life, and just use that as an opportunity to.
So someone asked me that a while ago. Just sort of veer off on a bit of a rabbit trail here, because I have a lot of crews that work for me in my company, and I do the mental health thing for my crews. So I'm always the office to come talk about things, if they have marriage troubles, they come and chat with me.
You're the guy?
Yeah.
You're the man, hey?
Yeah, I kid you not.
Well,
you can ask my crew.
It's you or your partner, I guess.
It's me and my partner, And I took some mental health courses to help my guys, because I deal with a lot of addiction stuff in my business. But anyways, someone's called marriage problems, and the big problem with marriage is, you guys don't know, but if you're a one-woman man, is you often have kids, and then the focus gets put on the kids and not on the marriage. The kids move out once they're 18, and the fire in the marriage is gone, and then you end up getting affairs or divorces after the kids are. That's a very common thing. You see divorces later on in life because you've sort of stopped.
And then who do you hook up with once that happens? Then?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
no, I'm asking you. Who
younger
is the
sister? No, it's that's off the thing. And I was listening to a marriage counseling time or a speaker, and he said the big problem is people put all the focus on their kids. When you can make more kids, you can never find that same spouse again.
You heard that?
Yeah.
You're
That's twice now.
Completely replaceable.
No, that's why I had two of you. That's why I had two of you.
That's why you have the younger sister.
I still got Katie. If you, it's not a big deal, Morgan. It's just the way life goes.
Okay, next question.
Morgan, if me and Mom were drowning, and you had to kill one to save the other,
yeah,
you're killing Mom.
Yeah,
See, that's she's paying attention. That's what you can attribute that to.
So if I said I was killing Mom and saving you, would you save me then? What? If I was killing Mom to save you, would you kill Mom to save me?
No, because she can cook.
Oh.
So we have the same views on Mom.
Wow. I don't know if the Mike picked that up, but she said no because she can cook, which is the ultimate irony that's exactly what you need from Danielle,
Literally, yeah.
And now it's being held against you.
Yeah, we're literally saving Mom for the same reasons.
Another question here, also for Devin. We touched on this just very briefly a second ago. Devin, do you ever wish that you met Janaea first? If not, what's wrong with her?
So, funny enough, I did meet Janaea first.
Okay.
So answer the second part.
Yeah, so I shouldn't say I met Janaea. Yeah, I met Danielle and Janaea when I actually tried drowning Danielle years when we were kids in a pool.
So this is a very real situation.
It is actually real. And I met Janaea first, and I kind of used Janaea to get to Danielle. Because I had no way in with Danielle. Because I had thrown a dead bird in the restaurant and caused a bunch of havoc. I was a bit of a shit disturber.
It sounds like it, yeah.
So I had thrown a dead bird through a doorway and smashed into another wall as one of their workers had came through to the cooler with a...
You're like, hey, Danielle, I like you.
No, this is before I liked her. Anyways, and this girl had a massive pot of gravy, and this bird smashed in front of her face, and she threw the hot gravy right off the stove, threw it up in the air.
It was like Hereditary meets The Office.
Yeah. Burnt both workers. Like both of them got and gravy splattered all over the outlets, the ceilings. It took them. So I came back 4 hours later through town at midnight. Me and my buddy who were throwing dead birds around, and they were
as you do.
Yeah, they were still cleaning in the restaurant. I'm like, man, the restaurant's closed for 4 hours. Like Country Nine's always only open until 8:30. But there was gravy all over, and then they were wiping the outlets. They got electrocuted from the gravy in the outlets.
Wow.
Electric
So
gravy.
I had no idea this happened. I came in the restaurant the next morning because Danielle's parents were in the restaurant. And everybody's just giving me the stink eye. I'm like, oh, what's going on? I just threw a dead bird.
Was to throw a bird into a restaurant.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
What's the big
wrong
deal,
with
right?
that?
Yeah.
I do that almost every day.
Yeah. They put pictures up. But they ended up, I used Janaea to get...
Pictures of you, like banning you?
No, believe it or not. I was still out in there.
Oh, pictures of what then? You
The whole instant. They took pictures of the gravy all over the walls, and then they put pictures up all over the restaurant, and I'm like, oh, I did that.
That's such a small town thing where they can just be like, that Devin. You know what I mean? Like, what are we going to do with that Devin?
So, yeah, I started hanging out with Janaea because Danielle wouldn't give me the time of day.
Naturally.
And then I just made sure I was everywhere Danielle was. So, Danielle's swimming at the pits. Devin's swimming at the pits. Danielle's at the ice cream store because I was really hung out in a small town. Devin rolls in the ice cream store. So Janaea would give me the inside line. I'd just roll on up. And then eventually...
the ice cream store.
Yeah. That was my buddy Bill. That's where we hung out till like 2, 3 in the morning.
Down at the malt shop.
Yeah.
That explains your banana boat obsession.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 in the morning. Yeah. All the storms rolling. We just all eat pizza and ice cream.
Why was the ice cream store open until 2, 3, 4 in the morning?
That's just what it was. It was a hangout.
Really?
So my buddy Bill owned it, and it was just pizza and ice cream. He would make you pizza at 3 in the morning. He didn't give a shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's
Yeah. So what's wrong with Janelle? We only have 12 minutes left in the podcast, so we can't get into that.
well.
Here, what isn't wrong with Janelle? There's less answers. I can fit that in a minute.
We'll have Janae on again. You guys can have a face-to-face conversation about that on the podcast.
Yeah.
About what's wrong with Janae.
Oh, yeah. These questions are great, guys.
These are questions.
Great.
Here's one that I think that Devin could probably expand on, although I think that Beeks would probably have some input on this too. What's the weirdest place you've ever gone to the bathroom?
Well, you go first.
Probably on a squat platform.
Is that really the weirdest?
In front of a group of people?
No, there's got to be a bush somewhere. Nothing stands out. I mean, we're men. We piss literally
Anywhere,
everywhere. Yeah.
It's a shitting thing.
Yeah.
Me and my friends used to use this as a tool of spite and revenge quite a bit. So,
Yeah.
so it's not super. There's a lot of stories that I won't share, but they're house stoops and mailboxes and things like that.
It's one of those burning bags of poop again.
Stop it on the thing.
I honestly, nothing stands out other than I'm not hiding anything. I think I'd be pretty open about it, but
I've got irritable bowel, so I'm like my whole family's that way. It's like throw my brother under the bus. So my brother I think it was his first date with his current wife. Now anyway, his current wife, his only wife. She does what he does. He has IBS too. Yeah, and they were going to Famous Players here at St. Patel.
Nice.
And they go to the car, and Kyle's like, I got to go to the washroom. And I was like, okay, let's get inside. And she turns around, and he's gone in the middle of the parking lot. And she's like, where the hell did you go? And those little bushes in St. Patel parking lot,
yeah.
my brother's shit in those bushes. He couldn't make it the 100 feet into Famous Players.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a client who has IBS, and it makes me thankful that I don't. To see somebody who has it, because it's a fucking,
It's instant. Yeah.
it's a trip, man. Like that stuff.
So for me, it'd be like I'll be on my way to hockey, and I've whipped into fields. I'll just put it in full drive, blast into the middle of the field, and just go. It's to the point where my partner and my office manager bought me 2 years ago for Christmas a bumper dumper as a joke. So it's a toilet seat and everything that goes into the back hitch of my truck.
that doesn't sound like a joke. That
No,
sounds like a pretty
it actually
useful
works
thing,
pretty
actually.
good. Yeah. So one time we were driving into Danielle's volleyball, and we're cruising down the highway, and I'm like, no, we got it. We got to pull over now. We're not going to make it. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, get out, pull over somewhere. So we pull onto what I thought was a gravel road. Didn't have a bumper dumper with at the time. So I'm squatting against the back of the Durango, and I'm like, holy man, this is hot. And I had burning my ass on the exhaust. Squatting against the back of my Durango. I end up, take a shit. I leave, and on the next day I'm driving to work, I realized, I'm like, that wasn't a gravel road. No, I shit in the middle of some dude's driveway.
Nice.
It wasn't a gravel road, but it was dark, so I didn't know.
I know that you haven't. Have you ever been to Asia?
No.
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 So you never had to shit in one of the whole toilets?
No.
I never
Whole
did.
toilets?
I never did either.
No.
But because I went to China for a couple months and
You didn't shit the whole time.
I didn't poo. Yeah, no. Well,
Came back so bloated.
We would spend the majority of our time in our apartment, or there's the dojo or whatever it might be. But they all had regular toilets.
Yeah.
But then you'd go to a restaurant or whatever, and they would have two grates that you stand on for your feet, and then you just squat over it and take a shit.
Huh?
I've heard about them.
Like
India has
you can't
them
sit
too.
down. You have
There's
to squat.
nothing to sit. You
You got
squat
a
down.
bar to hold.
No, that's the thing. There's nothing. Well, maybe some of them for for older people. But that's the thing is that old people in China can just straight up hit an ass to grass squat and sit there all day if they have to. They don't. They're fine. But I tried it one time. I was like, we were at they took us to a day spa thing, and I was like, I have to shit so badly, and I was like, they only have these fucking
This is a normal thing out there.
It's very normal. Yeah. And I was like, apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently when Asian people first start coming here, you can sometimes if you at public toilets, you'll catch them squatting over regular toilets,
Standing on
the same way. Yeah.
Where there's shit spot over the damn walls.
But I tried to use
Your ankles.
I tried to use the whole toilet, the HOLE toilet, and it was the door was that fog effect where that's it wasn't a solid door. So I knew that people could just see me fucking sitting there squatting, just like fuck, and like people are like walking by and like checking to see if somebody in there. And I'm like, this is the worst. Like I feel so like such a pussy right now. Like I'm just like, and
Tyler's hips are tight, so you can't squat down.
My-
He's
my
shitting
bo-
on the wall.
my body wouldn't let me do it. I wouldn't like I could
Nope.
I could not fucking do it. I sat there. I was like. I'm just, like no like I've never been so embarrassed while by myself in my life. You know what I mean? I was just like, this is fucking horrible. And eventually I was just like, fuck this, and I just like got up and left. And I never tried to use one of those toilets again. The
So you
whole
just
time.
Can't
held
imagine standing to poo.
It doesn't.
It's well,
My legs would be like,
Yeah.
well that's
Yeah.
the thing is that like, and it's like you have to like take your pants off because you can't like.
Yeah.
You can't like have them around your ankles or whatever.
I guess.
Otherwise you take a dump into your pants.
So these people just take their shoes off, take their pants off, step on these grates.
I guess so.
Jeez.
I don't know. That was the worst part of China to me was those toilets because I didn't understand. They just like didn't compute to me. It'd be like if I walked in and they were on the ceiling, I'd be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? You know what I mean? Like it just didn't make sense to me.
That would make more sense.
Yeah. And then in Germany, you shit onto a shelf with no water on it, and then water comes down and floods it away. And I was like, why is this the best way to do it? Like why can't there just be fucking water in the toilet? Like I don't understand this. So that was
Maybe they don't like it when you take a shit and then that water comes up and just kisses your ass.
maybe I don't know. I just didn't understand it. I was just like, it made me miss Canada so much. I was like, I want our wasteful toilets back.
Yeah.
What a. Oh, okay.
I think we pretty much reached the end of the questions though. Like, at least the.
Well, we got a couple more probably for next one we can use.
I didn't even see them. Should have a little peek, a little gander.
No, there was actually some valid ones that we'll hit on the next episode then about actually Strongman.
Was there?
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Here
so-
we got 5 minutes left.
Well, should we touch on maybe what's? Well, I guess I was just saying Western's going to be over. Vita's going to be over.
Western's coming up for me and Dan are the two Manitoba competitors. U105 Canada's Strongest Man is coming up. Or fuck, these are going to all be done.
Yeah, well, yeah, Saturday. Yeah. You
Okay,
got all
so
three comps that our Manitoba athletes are in.
Yeah, so Patrick Gregor and I think Daniel Mondor are doing the 105 show, right? So
Yep.
if you talk to those guys, send them a message, ask them how it went, and tell them congratulations on a good showing. I'm sure.
Representing Manitoba, yeah.
That's right. Me and Dan are going to Westerns, and a bunch of people are competing at Vita.
We got 30 competitors.
We ended up with 30 I actually had somebody email me today asking if they can get on.
Who's?
I don't know.
If they want to send their money and get no T-shirt all over.
That's what I said. So we have our we've already had two of like we had the biggest novice competition we've ever had. We've had the biggest non-competition we've ever had in Tolstoy, and then we're already almost catching up to that number again with this show. So it's very exciting, and we just want to say thanks to everybody who's doing that. Me and Devin personally. Dave doesn't care, obviously, but
I was looking at these questions.
But no, Dave, but
Probably didn't get through them all that
for
time.
the strongman stuff, me and Devin really appreciate the people who are signing up and getting involved.
Well, it's been years we've been trying to drill people, and now they're showing up at every comp.
Yeah, now they're knocking down our doors.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
Great.
So we'll leave it at that for this one.
Well, Provincials events will be posted by the time this thing airs too.
Oh yeah, so pay attention to that. Provincials is July 30th at Brick House. For the people who are asking, like, "Ooh, what are the events? What's going on?" Don't worry about it until Vita's done. You're not going to be training for it until after Vita, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very very much a re-education of a lot of the strong men and women in Manitoba, where you will know when you have to know the events and the weights and everything else. And
What was Magnus last year? You found out the event or the weights?
we found out the weights and events like 2 weeks beforehand.
Yeah.
And same with the with that CSM. Like I was so intimidated at the idea of like asking a question that had already been asked or like
Yeah.
bothering JF with something.
Yeah.
That I just didn't. And I just showed up and I was like, whatever. Like for some of the guys who are more comfortable, they'd be asking like, what's the bar diameter? What's this? What's that? And I was like, doesn't really fucking matter to me. I'm going to show up and I'm going to get whatever I get.
Well,
anyways.
Magnus is 5 weeks away, and the
Magnus
events
is
aren't
coming right
posted.
up. Yeah, Magnus is coming right up, and that's the thing is that like for these guys who want to be able to get to those next level of shows, stop worrying about the events and start worrying about being strong because that's not gonna. Sometimes you just don't know until you're like right. Like I won't know if I've qualified for CSM until like 5 weeks out.
Yeah.
So
It's one of those things you don't have to get ready if you stay ready.
Yeah, exactly.
just
That's a good
keep
way to put
getting
it.
stronger.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to handle implements, but 2 weeks is enough just to get a feel for them.
Yeah.
yeah,
5
Should
weeks
be
is
hitting them off
definitely
and off.
enough.
Yeah.
Just keep getting stronger, keep training, keep working hard.
yeah. That's the easiest. It's like it's not the easiest answer. It's the simplest answer.
Yeah.
It's actually the hardest answer, but that's what you have to do. So Deadlift for Dreams, as we talked about last time, it is actually full. It's we've reached or I say we, but it's you. These guys are putting in the work. 61 lifters, I believe, right?
61,
Which is
yeah.
bonkers. That's fantastic.
And I still have people messaging me asking, can you get us in?
Yeah,
I have
and
3 people this week.
And I know that I should say, I think that Beeks is taking like a waiting list for people if people are dropping off or whatever, or is that not really?
We will, like, if there's people interested and people drop off.
So if you heard the information that it was full and you were like, shit, I really wanted to register and I was just dragging my ass, message Beeks and he can put you on a waiting list because people will drop out. Like,
First off, you've had months to enter.
Yeah. Don't drag your ass next time would be the best.
Secondly, it's a really good look for you if you want to be a part of it next year if you sign up as just a fundraiser.
True.
Yeah, a couple guys did that message me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just help the cause. It'll go a long way for next year because it'll put you at the top of the list.
Yeah.
To be a part of it.
And let's face it, they'll be there the day of anyways.
Yeah.
These guys are messaging, and they'll probably lift in the back in the warm-up area anyways.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be lots of fun, and if you want to get involved, you can still try, and if not, hey, still raise some money and still come down and hang out at the
Might have
very
to look
least.
at 2 platforms next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it might be worth doing.
Yeah. We'll see the balance between the truck deadlift and the non-conventional conventional deadlift, the classic deadlift,
Traditional.
and see how we balance that.
Yawning.
Oh, we're boring, Devin.
No, it's near my bedtime.
Yeah.
He's got chorin to do and grooves to tongue.
So Deadlift for Dreams, keep on top of that, and we're getting closer, and it'll be here before you know it. At Manitoba Strongman, at Strong and Petty, Devin Penner, Training Grounds, Red River Siding, Iron Age Strength, Chud Life, and sincerely from our new studio here, and for everybody who took the time to share and comment and everything else, go fuck yourself.